been. You get to see my view. You know, I like the seaside. Okay, it's a beautiful, beautiful evening here. And like you can see what I keep telling you. People like the ocean. People like the ocean, you see. So welcome everybody. Today's topic is going to be fun. You see, there are a lot of tall houses, big houses along the waterways. So I always tell you about the importance of water, land, and property. So I'm going to be sharing powerful lessons today. 5 land banking lessons from Chief Razak Okoya. By the way, I've met him, in February on my way from, I think whether Italy or Germany, one of these countries. We took the same plane and just greeted him. From Germany to London, and but we never really got time to talk. And but I've studied a lot about him and about how he's been able to use land banking to build wealth. So I'm going to be sharing 5 powerful lessons. Please, I'd like you to tell me your name and the city you're joining me from. Your name and the city you're joining me from. How many of you know Chief Razak Okoya? If you know him, type I know. If you don't know him, type I don't know. The man is 80 years now. He's an industrialist. He's a founder of Eleganza Motors, right? Eleganza group of companies. They're into manufacturing. You have seen Eleganza pen and things like that growing up, okay? And is also into several other companies. He owns a whole lot of manufacturers. He's a manufacturing giant. And I'm going to be sharing a whole lot many of you do not know about how he has been able to leverage on land banking to build amazing wealth. So if you know Chief Razak Okoya, type I know. If you don't know him, type I don't know him. Oh Lord, I love this beauty. By the way, as you're joining me, you know how we do it. Your name and the city you're joining me from, right? Your name and the city you're joining me from. I love the seaside. I just love viewing, observing the seaside. It's one of those things I do. Particularly evenings, I just like to sit and just look at the ocean or look at the river. It's just one of those things I love doing. Okay, so as you're joining me, tell me your name, the city you're joining me from, and share this video as many times as you can on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on LinkedIn, across all social media platforms. Okay, share. Hit the share button. Okay, hit the share button. So good. A lot of you know him. Some of you don't know him. Okay, good. So like I said, Chief Razak Okoya is 80 years old now. He's a Lagos industrialist, and he's the founder of Eleganza Group. And a couple of lessons I'm going to be sharing with you about this man. The first lesson is called land banking. By the way, some of you don't know what is land banking. Land banking basically means the process of buying an undeveloped land for the purpose of appreciation, for the purpose of investment, for the purpose of potentially selling that land later when it has appreciated. That is the concept of land banking. And how many of you know Eleganza, industrial plants, okay, or companies in Oregon? Okay, if you know, type I know. If you don't know, type I don't know. A whole lot of Oregon axis is owned by Chief Razak Okoya. In those days, you used to have a lot of manufacturing companies and he still has a good number of them today. But number one lesson I learned observing the man from afar, and when he relates to this land banking, he always go against the crowd, okay, trusting in the concept of turning the bush to the city. So when Chief Razak started buying places like Oregon, started buying places like Isolo, Alaba, Igomu. Now, Oregon was usually, he bought that Ikeja Oregon axis when Jakonde was governor of Lagos State. Started buying that place. Now, Jakonde had started building a whole lot of estates, and of course trying to beg civil servants to start living in places like MKO Gardens and a whole lot of those estates that he was building. Okay, but many civil servants didn't want there. I remember many told me, old civil servant, I met one, 84. He said when they used to tell them to move to Ikeja, they were like, God forbid, Jakonde himself and his family should go and live in Ikeja. Because Ikeja was the bush. It wasn't well developed. So the first strategy that Chief Razak Okoya did was, he went against popular opinion and trust in the concept of turning the bush to the city. So when people are avoiding Ikeja, when people are avoiding Isolo, when people are avoiding Alaba and Igomu, because this whole area were still bush, were still, nobody cares about it. They were thick forest. The man started buying land in those places. Started buying. Of course, originally it was to, expand his industrial empire, to have manufacturing, his manufacturing plants and things like that. But one of the unique things Chief Razak did was, he wasn't just acquiring for himself alone, he was also able to sell huge expanse of land to friends who were also industrialists, who were into manufacturing. So that was where the real estate thing started. So other friends who say, where's your manufacturing plant? Oh, it's in Oregon, it's in here, and I need something like that. He started selling gradually. But this is what happened. Of course, that, how many of you know in the 90s and early 2000s, the particularly in the 90s, in manufacturing, got downwards in Nigeria. If you know type, I know. If you don't know type, I don't know. Manufacturing business was killed in the 90s, okay, and the early 2000s. If you know type, I know. If you don't know type, I don't know. Now, Chief Eleganza was one of the highest hit companies, okay, when the manufacturing industry began to die in Nigeria. But guess what happened to Chief Razak Okoya? He kept becoming richer. Many don't know. So the question was, how did he get richer? What was happening? Where was he making the money from? Eleganza wasn't producing like he used to do again, right? Many of those, manufacturing plants had to shut down. The ones that didn't shut down started producing minimally, right? So where was Chief Razak, where was the money coming from? Real estate. Those manufacturing companies and warehouses that Chief Razak has built in Isolo, that Chief Razak Okoya had built in Oregon, in Alaba, in Igomu, all those places are now become developed. Okay, look at the one in Oregon. People call churches like Daystar, right? And other people started buying those warehouses, turning them to churches. Okay, and Baba was cashing out. So as development took over those entire area, and manufacturing companies were dying, including his own, they were struggling. Baba was able to diversify heavily into real estate. So gradually he was able to sell, okay? He was able to sell, many of these particular properties and kept making more money. Guess what he now did? He moved to Lekki Epe. Right? Moved to Lekki Epe. And how many of you know Eleganza Estate towards Aja? If you know type, I know. If you don't know type, I don't know. How many of you know Eleganza Estate towards Aja? If you know type, I know. If you don't know type, I don't know. So a whole lot of those resources. Now, manufacturing wasn't doing well in the 90s anymore. The late 90s, early 2000s. It was going down. So Baba, of course, leverage on real estate. This is why McDonald's says, one time, one of the founders of McDonald's was once asked, okay, was once asked a very important question. Benga, Dan, Asabe, please leave me alone. I'm focusing on real estate, and that's what that interests me, okay? Every other aspect, I'm not really interested. The political aspect, I'm not. Okay, I'm talking pure business right now. Okay, so, and I like to stick to that, because that's my field. So when you look at the core ideas of this whole thing, it then gradually started moving into, of course, Eleganza estate started. But manufacturing was dying, but because he understood the concept of real estate, he could sell a whole lot of those warehouses and move, of course, to Lekepe, add Eleganza estate. And these are powerful principles we need to learn. Because let me say this, one of the major challenges that we as Africans have faced, okay, it has been the concept that every rich man is a devil. And every rich man got his money illegitimately. Every wealthy person. And we often then fail to ask, what are the core lessons? What are the strategy the person used? Let me tell you this, and I'm saying this on air. No matter what happened, a level will come. People like Benga Asabe need to know this. That government will start doing business with Stephen Akintayo. There's nothing I can do about that. There's nothing I can do about that. When you grow to a level, it becomes pure government. It's become B2G. It's called business to government. So, of course, anybody can say what they want to me. But the reality still remains, the core of how I started my business was from grass to grace. That I'm now probably dealing with government doesn't change the fact that the core, okay, where I started humbly. Right? If any government now decides to start partnering with Stephen Akita, does it delegitimize the fact that I was a hustler and I started from zero to hero? No. So going back to my conversation before Asabe tried to start distracting me. So number one, Baba began to go, right, beyond the popular norms. He started buying land, started building, manufacturing complex and warehouses in places that people were not willing to go in those days, and building massive warehouses that obviously at the end of the day was able to, even when manufacturing was an issue, sold them and moved to another location. And let me say this is very important. One of the founders of McDonald's was once asked, you guys are in the business of selling burgers? And he said, no, we're in the business of real estate. And they said, why? He said, because every location that we open McDonald's, even when we are no longer able to sell McDonald's, when we sell those shops, when we sell those locations, we end up quadrupling. Sometimes we have 1,000% return on investment. So most of our big money comes from being able to sell most of our shops if anything goes wrong. And this is sometimes one of the strategy people fail to add into business. Are you getting value, guys? If you're getting value, type I'm getting value. I'm getting value, I'm getting value. Come on, everybody, talk to me. If you are getting value, type I'm getting value, I'm getting value, I'm getting value. If you're not getting value, of course, you can say I don't get value. Also, please share this video on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on LinkedIn. Post across all social media platforms. Okay? Post across all social media. Click on the Facebook party icon and invite everyone. Thank you so much. Godspeed. He said, yes, every location owned by McDonald's is real estate focused. Right? And that's why they do it. That's even one of the crux of the success of McDonald's. Every single McDonald's location is focused on real estate. That if for any reason we are not even able to go ahead, okay, in the whole core business of selling burger, when we sell that location, we've turned to wealth, we've increased our value, we've made more money. That has been the principle. So the same thing, I have studied about Chief Razak Okoya and how he's been able to do that. Number two, lessons I learned. 5 things I'm teaching you, by the way. 5 land banking lessons from Chief Razak Okoya. And I think we, this generation, need to begin to learn from older people. Everything is not bad about that. I was talking today with my executive assistant. She's a female. And she was telling me, I was asking about her parents and all of that. And she was telling me some reservations. And I started laughing. I said, you these children of nowadays, the fact that you have certain reservations about your parent, does it change that they are your parent? Does it change that they are good? Does it change the fact that they have good intentions? You may disagree now, you are old. but these people raised you. When you don't know your left from the right, they raised you. And I feel there are so much lesson we need to learn from older business owners, okay, right, that can help us and put us in better perspective and move forward. Number 2, I'm not if you are ready for number 2 lesson on land banking from Chief Razak Okoya. If you are ready, type I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Okay? Now, number 2 lesson. Come on, if you are ready, type I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. For those of you just joining us, my name is Stephen Akita. I'm Africa's most sought after investment coach, Mr. Entrepreneur. I'm a realtor, and I'm sharing on 5 land banking lessons from Chief Razak Okoya of Eleganza group of companies. And trust me, this is going to be one of the best shows you've ever had me teach you, because it's practical, it's something you can research, something you can watch. And I would like you to share this video across all social media platforms. Hit the Facebook party icon and get everybody in here. So, number 2, he kept moving to new locations that had potential once the current locations were saturated. So look at what Baba has moved. How many of you know that Chief Razak Okoya major industrial hub has now moved to Lekki Epe, has basically moved to Lekki Epe? Are you aware of the Eleganza industrial estate in Lekki Epe? If you are aware, type I'm aware. If you're not aware, type I'm not aware. So the same man who dominated the entire Oregon, massive, warehouses and manufacturing plants in Isolo, massive in Alaba, in Gomu, suddenly relocated to another bush. As soon as all these places became more saturated, more people started living in all this Oregon, Isolo, and all these houses. Baba moved to Epe. How many of you are aware of the Eleganza industrial estate in Epe, on your way to Epe? If you are aware, type I'm aware. If you are not aware, type I'm not aware. You need to study that. Massive. Okay? Now, there was no point keeping an industry, keeping most of those manufacturing companies, right, in Isolo, in Oregon. In fact, they will constitute more pollution because more development had already surrounded those locations. Okay? And these are smart concept for wealth. Smart concept for wealth. Smart ideas. Okay? Land banking. You buy a land in the bush, and then over time you keep evolving. You keep moving. Where is the future? And I look at how smart Baba did those things. How smart. I mean, a lot of time, because I have estates along Lekki Epe and Ibejuleki, and I was just like, these people are very intelligent. They saw the future. They invested ahead. We can sit somewhere, right, and begin to analyze them. I mean, you talk of what we feel like, how we think it was because they have connection, how we think they don't have connection, and I smile. If you understand how success works, there is no way you become successful to a level. Everyone wants to associate with you. Politicians, or government, or people in power. It's just how it works. See, it has nothing to do with whether they are the ones supporting you or not. In many cases, you are the one even giving them money for their elections to support all of them, no matter what party they belong to. So, understand the concept. Okay, it's powerful. Chooks or IC says, I rented one of his warehouse at Alaba 2 years ago. Can you see what I'm talking about? Real estate. A living witness is talking to us now. So what did he do? He started selling those things and even moved his own manufacturing from Oregon, from Isolo, from Igomu, from Alaba. Moved them, ladies and gentlemen, to another bush. What will happen? His presence in Epe will develop that entire location. And as those locations develop, you will move again. Come on, if you are getting value, type I'm getting value, I'm getting value, I'm getting value. Come on, everybody, talk to me. If you are getting value from today's training, type I'm getting value, I'm getting value. I'd like you to share this video on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on LinkedIn. Click on the Facebook party icon and share. On YouTube at Stephen Akita TV, you need to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have over 1,000 life-changing videos there. Please subscribe at Stephen Akita TV on YouTube. Life-changing video, 1,000. It's a whole university that I put there. Okay, we're streaming also on Instagram. and Stephen Akita. So number 2 lesson, Baba kept moving. When a location gets saturated, he moves to another location that is still bushy. He knows that in no time, that place that looks like a bush will also develop. And once that place is developed again, what will Baba do? He will begin to sell gradually, keep making money, and of course keep moving. Now, these are some of the reasons of how some wealthy people keep reinventing themselves. And sometimes it looks as if it doesn't matter what happened to the economy. These classes of people keep enjoying wealth, keep looking big by the day, okay? They keep earning, making money, and they are able to sponsor, okay, they're a particular type of lifestyle. And like I said, some of us who do not understand how some of these people have used strategies to build wealth. You can jealous, you can be envious, you can say what you feel like saying, but it does not change the fact that these people use strategy, okay, and understood concept that needed to use. We're still talking about land banking and 5 land banking lessons, okay, from Chief Razak Okoya. Number 3. So what does that mean? If you are buying Ibejuleki today because of Dangote refinery, quickly know when you need to start moving to another potential Ibejuleki, because that's where many people made mistake. Some of you were lucky to have bought Lekki early enough, but you missed out in Ibejuleki because you just got comfortable. Some people were lucky to have bought Ikeja years ago, but they missed out in the Lekki boom. Some people were lucky to have bought certain places, but they missed out. And these are powerful things people don't know. They kept missing out. So Baba kept moving. When he noticed this place is getting saturated, Baba will look for another location and start building another industrial complex, another warehouse, another manufacturing estate. Okay? And that's a powerful principle. Now, how many of you even know how Chief Razak Okoya started his business? If you know, type 1. If you don't know, type 2. How many of you know how Chief Razak Okoya started his business? If you know, type 1. If you don't know, type 2. By the way, keep inviting people. Share this video at least 10 times. Okay, hit the Facebook party icon and invite as many people as you can. How many of you know how Chief Razak Okoya started his business? Okay, if you know, type 1. If you don't know, type 2. Okay, many of you obviously do not know. Do you know that his father was a tailor, and he actually used to work with his father as a tailor, and later started his own side gig tailor business with his father? Okay, started his own side gig and was able to raise $20 initial capital, $20. And then he wanted to, he had seen a Japanese catalog of certain items he could import and he could bring into the country. And so when he then attempted to import them with his $20, he realized that the value had increased to $70. Went to meet his mother to give him a loan of $50 to add to the $20 he had. Okay, and the mother, of course, asked him to take permission from his father. In those days, Popsy has the final say. His father agreed, and the mom loaned him $50. So he started the entire thing with $70, importing certain things from Japan. And of course, over time, with his first wife, got, jewelry, refining machines, and the rest is history today. But you will not believe that the man started as a tailor. You will not believe that. Now, what is the lesson in this? Everything big starts small. The rich men that you know today were poor before. All these people you think were lucky were actually not as lucky as you thought. The story of your life that you hate, many of the great people you admire started like you. People do not become rich from heaven. They were poor before they made it. There must be something they knew that got them to where they are today. And your ability to be hungry, to discover the secret of rich people, to admire them rather than despise them. You never attract what you despise. You can never attract what you despise. You can never attract what you despise. You hate rich people, you can't be rich. It's a simple law, powerful law, works any day, anytime. I don't know if you are getting value. If you're getting value, type I'm getting value, I'm getting value, I'm getting value. As you're joining me, share this video. Hit on the Facebook party icon. Share this video 10 times. It will change people's life. My name is Stephen Akintayo, Africa's most sought after investment coach. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and I'm sharing 5 land banking lessons I learned from Chief Razak Okoya. Just watching, observing him, even though I met him for the first time in the plane. Okay, but we really didn't talk about his investment acumen. Just greeted it at the airport and all of that. But I have personally just studied, and I'm sharing with you 5 things I studied, okay, that I noticed about him. And I think all of you should learn tonight. If you're getting value, type I'm getting value, I'm getting value. Share this video 10 times. You don't know whose life you will change with this video. You don't know whose mind you will rewire from what I'm sharing with you. Hit on that Facebook party icon and bring everybody in. Tell them the Eagle is in the building and I'm teaching on the power of land banking. Number 3, if you're ready for number 3, type I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. If you're ready for number 3, type I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Number 3 lesson in land banking that I learned from Chief Razak Okoya. If you're ready, type I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Find temporary, residual income from your land banking, particularly when you are doing bulk land banking. Find a temporary residual income. So, for example, if you are doing land banking and you buy, 5 acres of land, 2 acres of land, can you farm on it? Right? Can you farm on it? Even if you can't farm on it, can you create an agri processing warehouse? Can you create a warehouse? Find a way to temporarily, start making something from your land banking. And that's what I noticed from Baba. Look, I'll give you a typical example of what I noticed. Because Epe was very far, very, very far, I believe Baba could have done another Eleganza estate like he did to along Aja. But as at the time he started acquiring, the Eleganza Industrial Complex, the place was so far. And Baba said, you know what? I have already too many people wanting warehouse from me in Oregon, in Solo, Alaba, Igomu, and we're struggling to give them space. Some of them, the prices of those places are even too expensive that most people can afford. I can build another industrial estate in Epe, and some of them who don't have much money can come there and start renting warehouse or buy a land and build their own warehouse there. And so what is happening right now, that even though Epe is really way far, but is already generating liquid from that place. As development moved to the entire Epe, I mean Lekki Epe Expressway, that Epe side of the Lekki Epe Expressway, obviously Baba will still probably use that estate again for commercial residential over time as things move on there. So when you are doing land banking, but please note, this only work when you are doing bulk, right? If you buy one plot, there's no way you can probably monetize your 600 square meter. Okay, yes, maybe, but because it's land banking and the place is still far, you may not be able to do much there. But if it's larger, your 2 acre, 5 acre, 10 acre, you can build a warehouse there. You can farm on the land, pending when, the entire place develop, and you can build houses. And you can even, in some cases, you can build like one of our estates in Ibejuleki, Jasper Estate in Ibejuleki, because it's very close to Dangote Refinery. Guess what we're doing? We're already building houses there. What is our goal? Once we are done building the houses, we'll write letter to Dangote Refinery, we'll write letter to Power Oil, to Indomie, all the companies that are there, and say, look, we've built houses for your staff. Okay? Can you start paying? Instead of them living in temporary shelter, instead of most of your staff having to live as far as Aja and move every morning down to Ibejuleki, 10 minutes drive from your refinery and your plant, we've built a house for your staff. Amazing concept. So find a way, particularly when you do bulk land banking, to start generating some residual income. Maybe little, it may not even make much sense. It may just be small money. Let something be coming in, no matter how little. Are you learning? If you are learning, type I'm learning, I'm learning, I'm learning. Everybody, I need your energy. Come on. If you are learning, type, I'm learning, I'm learning, I'm learning, I'm learning. Everybody talk to me. If you are learning, type, I'm learning, I'm learning, I'm learning, I'm learning. Again, my name is Steven Akita. I'm Africa's most sought after investment coach. I'm a serial entrepreneur. And I'm sharing tonight on 5 land banking lessons I learned from Chief Razak Okoya. Amazing industrialist. You can't take that from him. The man just knows how to build manufacturing companies, warehouse, and real estate. He's just a giant. Okay, and there's a lot for young people like us to learn from people like that. Okay, if you are learning, type, I'm learning, I'm learning. Remember to share this video at least 10 times. Hit on the Facebook party icon and invite all your friends. They will thank you that you invited them. They will thank you because of what they are learning. So we've shared 3 things so far. Number 1, Baba kept going against the norm. He started buying Oregon, Isolo, Alaba, Igomu when those places were thick forest, where nobody wanted to live in those places, where nobody wanted to move to those places. I remember meeting a professor, and Baba told me, he said, they gave me Surulere. I almost cursed them. The Allah imagine me, I'll go and live in Surulere. He said, because in those days, all those places were bush, that they gave him 5 acres of land in Surulere. But Surulere was thick forest. He said the same thing in Ikeja, they were all bush. Nobody lived there. Guess where people were living? It's Aleko, Mushi, right? Ojuelegba. Those were Ajegula, those were the top core Lagos. Big Lagos. Right? They were the core Lagos then. But look at how those places are called slum now, suburb now. So you don't understand that turning bush to city is the entire concept around land banking. Being able to see into the future and go and buy a bush now. Buy it now. I tell people, go and buy land anywhere now. Anywhere. Buy it now. Go anywhere. You tell me, but Mr. Steven is a bush. Buy. Hey, he doesn't have document. The document is not complete. Buy. Just buy land. Buy land now. Buy quickly. Buy today. You do. Listen, this advice, oh no. Buy land anywhere today and buy now. Now. Your children will thank you for it. Your great-grandchildren will thank you for it. Let me tell you this. Let me say this before I go on to 2 more points. You can change the entire trajectory of your family, of your lineage, by a land you buy today. You can change the entire... Listen, you can turn the destiny of your entire lineage from a poor lineage to a rich lineage by just property you buy. And I'll share a real practical story with you guys. How many of you know Pastor Paul Adefarasin of House on the Rock? If you know Pastor Paul Adefarasin, type 1. If you don't know him, type 2. How many of you know Pastor Paul Adefarasin? If you know him, type 1. If you don't know him, type 2. Pastor Paul Adefarasin was given back to by a civil servant father. Upon his retirement, what the father got from government, he used it to buy a land in Akeadeshola in Victoria Island, Lagos. As at the time Baba bought that land, Victoria Island was a marshy land. It was water everywhere. People were avoiding Victoria Island, but Baba bought it. Okay, used his entire money to buy that place. The retirement money. And then left it because he didn't have money to develop it. A particular company came to Baba years later and said, we can build a house on this your land, because as at that time, Victoria Island started developing. We'll rent the place out for 5 years, for 10 years, to recover back the money we used to build the house. And after that, the house belongs to you. Pastor Paul Adefarasin's father agreed to this deal. And they built the house. And then they later gave him after 10 years of renting it out. True story. This is true story. But according to Pastor Paul Adefarasin, the rent from that house in Akeadeshola in Victoria Island was what they used to send him and his sibling to the finest schools in the world. And because they went to the finest schools in the world, even though most of them are pastors, they are not pastoring in Mushi or Ajegunle. They are pastoring in VI. Even his elder brother is still a pastor in VI. Churches that some of the wealthiest people are the ones that attend. And not just that, he too replicated the same principle. He said when they were to sell that house, after Baba had died, after 50 years, what came to one child was almost $1 million. What came to one child? One child. You can change the destiny. You can wipe away poverty from your lineage by just buying one land, by a property investment decision. You can wipe away poverty from your lineage for life. For life. That was how Pastor Paul Adefarasin, father, you know the story today, wiped away poverty from that lineage. There is nobody from Pastor Paul Adefarasin's family that can be poor. How? There are certain investments you do, just change the trajectory. For your children. You may have been poor, but you have guaranteed a roadmap. You have guaranteed a strategy that nobody from your family will ever be poor again. With all sense of humility, some of the investment decisions I'm making today, it is impossible for the next 3 generations of my family to be poor, even if they waste the money. You don't get it. Look at Walt Disney. Walt Disney built a wealth that once you were born into that family, you're a billionaire in dollar by just being born. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to do anything. You are just a billionaire in dollars. And no matter how wasteful you are, you cannot just finish billions of dollars like that. It doesn't just disappear. How many of you are learning? If you are learning, type I'm learning. For those of you just joining us, I'm Stephen Akinta, Africa's most sought after investment coach and a serial entrepreneur. And I'm sharing 5 land banking lessons from Chief Razak Okoya. I've shared 3 so far. Number 1, Baba was going against the norm and was buying places people didn't want to buy and started building manufacturing and warehouses. Number 2, Baba kept moving to new locations as the old ones became saturated. Number 3, Baba, of course, found temporary income, or what I call residual income from every land banking project he was making. So Baba buys a land, it's either he turns it to an estate or an industrial hub, or turns it one way or the other, that land will make some money, even though it's in the bush, even though it's not yet in a developed location. And I'm saying that this number 3 is more for those who are buying bulk land banking. Like you buy an acre, 2 acre, 10 acre, 3 acre, it works small. Because if you're buying just one plot, you may not be able to immediately convert it to something like how much farming can you do on a one plot. But if you buy 2 acre, 3 acre, 5 acre, you can at least start from farming. You farm on your land, and over time the thing appreciates in value. Come on, if you are getting value, type I'm getting value. Number 4, have multiple use. Okay, Baba, number 4, Baba had multiple use. Let me see. Because I had to write these things down. Okay. Are you getting value? Come on, guys. You're getting value. Type I'm getting value. Come on, talk to me, guys. If you're getting value, type I'm getting value. Number 4. Okay. Diversify the purpose of your land banking investments. Some people are too rigid, and that's why they are not able to maximize their land banking investment. You can buy a land, be flexible. And what you may end up using that land for is to build estates. In other words, you can build houses and rent it out. Some cases, it can be that you bought the land and you end up selling the entire land after it has appreciated. Sometimes you buy a land and later turn it to a farm estate. Learn to be flexible. That's what I noticed Baba did. Right? For some location, Baba rented the warehouses out. He didn't sell it. For some locations, Baba sold out the warehouses. For some locations, like the one close to Aja, Baba just built a residential estate. Even though that's not his core. But he just built residential estate. For another location, Baba decided to say, you know what? I want to build an industrial estate. So be flexible so that you can have multiple diversification, okay, for your land banking. Diversify your land banking investment. Do not be rigid that it must only be for for farming, or it must only be for I will build houses and I will rent it out alone. You can build houses and sell the house. You can build house and rent it out. You can do land banking and just farm on it. You can do land banking and build a warehouse. Be flexible. Be willing to change, to adapt when you have done investment in land banking. Right? Be willing to adapt. Be willing to adjust. Be flexible. Number 5. Okay? Keep repeating the process. Keep repeating the process. Do not ever give up on the concept of land banking. Once you've done it once, it works, try it again. Look for another location to repeat the process. One of the biggest reasons people fail, and I've seen this across the globe, once you do something, it works once, you relax and stop repeating the process. The hunger just disappears. I do something powerful. Let me tell you this. I do something powerful. This is a powerful move, and I want to encourage you to do it. I intentionally, I practice artificial brokenness. Can everybody type artificial brokenness? Come on, everybody, type it. Artificial brokenness. Everybody type it again. I practice artificial brokenness. Everybody, come on, type it. One of the biggest harm you can ever do to yourself is to have too many money in the bank looking at you. It gets you to become lazy. Money discourages effort. Let me repeat that. Powerful statement. Money discourages effort. There is a way you have so much money that you become lazy. There's a way you have so much money in the bank staring at you, you get lazy. So I practice artificial brokenness. Everybody, I want you to type it. I'm waiting to say it. Now, what do? I have some money. Let's assume I have 500 million. I'll go and embark on a project of 1 billion. How much money do I now need? From having 500 million in the account, now I'm indebted, I'm broke, and I even urgently need another 500 million. What does this do to you? It gets you running. It gets you hungry. It gets you moving. It gets you trying and pushing and say, hey, I have to pay another 500 million. But some of you know what you do. You made 2 million. You now leave the thing in the account. You now be smiling. I have to be careful. I don't want to lose my money. I bought a short ago, I want 419. And I laugh often. How much is this money that is in your account that you're afraid to lose? Instead of you to say, money is a messenger. Money is supposed to be sent on an errand. You are not supposed to keep money in the bank. It's doing nothing. Inflation is eating the money. The biggest enemy of investment is bank. Because you keep the money in the bank has gone ahead to use your money to do business. Meanwhile, they will not give you return on what they have used your money for. You are deceiving yourself, looking at digit, looking at paper money, and you think you have money. Inflation is hitting on that money, and that money is losing value. What were you supposed to do? Invest it, send it on an errand, such that you need more money. You've invested in something bigger than what you can afford. So you are hungry to keep generating income, to keep expanding your investment empire. That is what I call artificial brokenness. So it's not like you don't have money. It's just that you send the money on errand. It's not that you don't have money. It's that you send the money to go and work for you. It's not like you don't have money. You send the money to go and secure the future of the next generation. It's not that you don't have money. Rather than buy cars or leave the money in the bank and you are rolling down and you are discouraged from working harder, you have sent your money on an errand to prepare a better future for you. At GTEX Homes, we have a slogan. We do not just sell properties, we help you secure your future. Because it's the truth. The guarantee way to secure your future is to invest in property, is to have land banking. That's the guarantee way. You do not go ahead and invest in land banking, in property, in investment, in asset. You are going to be poor. Not only will you be poor, you have also transferred poverty to the next generation. How many of you want to transfer wealth to the next generation? Come on, talk to me. How many of you want to transfer wealth to the next generation? Can you do this sign? Okay, click on the raising hand sign. Come on, talk to me, guys. I need engagement. By the way, share this video on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on LinkedIn. Hit on the Facebook party icon. Okay, and invite all your friends. Let them come and watch and learn 5 land banking lessons from Chief Razak Okoya that I've learned over the years, just observing Baba. Okay, and I want to ask you a question. How many of you want to transfer wealth to the next generation? You know what many people do? They transfer poverty to the next generation. If you want to transfer wealth to the next generation, raise your two hands. Click on that two icon that raise two hands. Okay? If you want to transfer wealth, I have vowed that I'm going to transfer wealth to the next generation. I'm not going to transfer poverty. I'm not going to leave poverty for the next generation. I want to transfer wealth. I want to move it from one generation of, it's called transgenerational wealth. That, if you really are genuine about doing that, do it through real estate. Okay? Invest in land banking. Let me tell you one of the benefits of land banking is that you can do it when you don't have much money. That's why we keep preaching land banking. You can start with no matter how little you have. It may just mean the land will not have document yet. It may just mean that the land may still be thick forest. But by every means, invest in land banking. Okay? So number 5, keep repeating the process that works. Keep repeating the process. Keep repeating the process. So I'm going to do a recap. I don't know if you want me to do recap. If you want me to do recap, type do recap. And I want to take questions. If you have questions for me on these things I've taught you, type your question and I'm going to answer. So I've shared, for those of you just joining us, 5 land banking lessons from Chief Razak Okoya. Number 1, Chief Razak Okoya kept buying lands and started building warehouses and manufacturing estates in places that people were afraid to go. Like Oregon in those days, many of you don't know now. Ikeja, the entire Ikeja was bush. That's why they put the airport there. Okay? Okay? When Jack Conde started building estates for workers, they were not willing to go. They used to tell him he will be the one and his family to go and live there. That his own government house in Ikoyi or is on the island, and he's asking them to come and be living in Ikeja, that they don't want to live because the entire place was bush. But it was those years that Baba started buying land, turning those land to industrial complex, turning those land to manufacturing complex that you know today. So all those strategic location, you now see Eleganza warehouse or manufacturing companies. Places like Oregon, Isolo, Alaba, Igomu. Baba bought it when all those places were thick forest, when nobody was going to go there. He went against the crowd, and he trusted in the bush to city strategy of land banking. Baba trusted in the bush to city strategy of land banking. Number 2 lesson I learned was Baba kept moving to new locations once the old place he was is saturated. Okay, early 2000, Baba had moved, many people don't know, in 2000, Baba had moved most of his manufacturing companies to the island. Okay, Lekki, and then later moved them to almost Ekpe now, the new Eleganza Industrial Estate. That's where most of the industrial stuff had been done. So this way, even though the industrial industry in Nigeria was affected, okay, Baba kept becoming richer as a result of his real estate assets. Number 4 that I learned, I noticed Baba was diversified his land banking strategies. So from just doing warehouses or doing manufacturing estate, Baba also did residential estate. Okay, and these are understanding flexibility. Because Charis is doing that now. Because Charis, many of you don't know, is now into his farming. Because Charis is now one of the largest, actually I think is the largest producer of rice in Nigeria right now. Okay, farmer, right? The largest farm in Nigeria for rice and processing is Charis. The man used to sell cars. So how did he diversify? You must understand that you can diversify your land banking investment. So rather than just say, you know, any land banking I buy, I will only sell it in future. You can say, no, I can do a farm there. Particularly if you are buying in bulk. You can say, no, you know, I'm going to build a house and then rent it out. You can say, no, I'll build a house and sell it. Be flexible, diversify. Number 5, keep repeating the process that works. Keep repeating the process that works. That's number 4. Then number 5 is find temporary residual income from the land banking that you've done, particularly if you did it in bulk. So you buy 5 acres somewhere, turn it to a farm. Just don't leave it like that. Okay? Find a way to get some little value. It doesn't matter how little what is coming from that land banking. Okay? But this old number 3 principle only works when you are doing it in bulk, like you're buying 5 acre, 10 acre. If you buy one plot, you can't, start making money from one plot. So please, let's not get greedy. Because a lot of times when I do trainings like this, you guys just take it like that. And then, I'm going. You need to understand what works in what situation. If you have been blessed, type, I have learned something. I'm blessed. Come on, if you have been blessed, type, I'm blessed. I want to read that. I'm blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. So I'm going to take questions. If you have questions for me, please go ahead and ask. Remember to go to my YouTube channel now. Subscribe to my YouTube channel at Stephen Akital TV. It's going to change your life. I've done over 1,000 videos there at Stephen Akital TV. And of course, my Instagram is at Stephen Akintayo on Instagram. Go there. There's so much to learn. Over 1,000 videos, one man, for free. Go and subscribe at Stephen Akital TV on YouTube. Okay, even this video is being streamed there. So you'll be able to watch over 1,000 videos for free. Go there. Life-changing videos on what to do. Question 1. Where you don't have the money, how do you invest in land banking with other people's money? I will never advise that you start land banking with other people's money, right? Because land banking is never short-term. Okay, Chief Razak Okoya is 80 years old now. So you can imagine when he started buying all these lands. Probably 50 years ago, probably 60 years ago, or let's say 55 years ago, that he started buying most of this land that has become gold in Baba's hand. Because land banking is not, okay, a short-time project. Don't use other people's money until you have used your own money to do it well and you have made so much. For 3 years, we never even said anybody should come and invest in our company in terms of give us their money so that we can use it to keep buying land and selling and give them profit. We never did it in 3 years because I needed to practice it over and over again and be sure I've gotten a perfect model. Else, people will give me their money, I will misuse it, I will claim victim, I will have, they too will have lose so much. So I do not advise. What you should do rather, start small. All these people you see today, they started small. Start small. Start with one plot. Start with 300 square meter. Start with Aton. Start with Ibadan. Okay, like Lagos Ibadan Express Road rather. Okay, start with Mowe or Father. Start with Arepo. Start with Ibejuleki. Start with Ekpe. Start somewhere. Start small. There are still places you buy land for 1 million with legitimate real estate companies. 1 million, 2 million. But be sure it's legit, right? But start small. And some of them will give you flexible payment. One of our estates in Aton is 1.2 million. You pay 500, you spread the rest. Right? Start small. Start small. Another way you can do it is market for existing real estate companies that are credible. They give 10% commission. You can then use that 10% commission to start buying your own land. I know people who told me, Mr. Stephen, every money I am making from selling your land, please note, I do not need my money back. Right? I don't need commission. Just be tying it towards my land with your company. So you can do that. David Oluwafemi says, boss, I want you to be my mentor. I've been following over the years. Well, I don't mentor people for free. My free mentorship ends on Facebook. Okay? Mentorship is not easy to do. It takes commitment. It takes time and energy. And I also have a business to run. And I have people to pay their salary. They're in their hundreds. So if I'm leaving the time I need to grow my company, I need to be able to, work so that I can pay salary of my staff to start teaching you something. It has to be worth a while. And that's why I've told you I have free mentorship for you on YouTube. Free mentorship for you even here. After you have made money, you can come and meet me when you can afford me and I can afford you. But I don't do free mentorship. Honestly, I don't. Okay? Chris says, how was Baba able to secure all these properties? Well, he was able to do something on it. That's one of the, I think, number 4 points or number 3 points, right? Baba was able to do something on the land rather than just leave it as a bare land. It's either Baba will build a warehouse or Baba will build residential accommodation, or Baba will do something. So because he's able to do something on the land, okay, there's just no way anybody can take it from him. He has taken possession of his land. Which is also why what I advise now is buy from a real estate company, because real estate company have their own security guards on all their estates. Real estate companies fence around their estates. So because of all these things, you are sure that your estate will be protected. It's usually when you buy from Omonile that you don't have real problem in your hands. And that's one of the things I always advise that people do. Christopher says, buying many land is good, but what about the maintenance of the land till it's ready to be used? Again, that answers, I've just answered that now. Buy from real estate companies. Okay, buy from real estate companies. And alternatively, like I also shared earlier, if you bought in bulk, make sure you're able to do something on the land. It could be a farming, it could be a processing plant, right? You can start, for example, a cassava processing plant on one of your place, right? And look for where people are selling cassava and be processing it for them. It may be, what may be coming out of it may be next to zero, but you have started something, right? So, find a way to, but this works if you're doing land banking in bulk. You can farm on your land if you are doing it in bulk. But if you are not doing bulk, you are just buying 1 plot, 2 plot, buy from a credible real estate company. Don't buy from Omonile. Robinson says the fear of Omonile and community youth makes scary. Who asked you to buy from Omonile? They are credible real estate companies you can buy. There are still fake real estate companies, but your chance of getting good real estate company is higher than your chance of getting good Omonile. Okay, so buy from credible. We are a real estate company. GTEX Homes is the company I own. I'm the MD of the company, right? Buy from us. We are not cheap, but we can assure you of value. Okay, so, but buy from real estate companies, right? And your chances are higher that way. Femi says land banking is long-term adventure, okay, but gives the best returns on investment. Absolutely. Land banking is a long-term adventure, but gives the best returns on investment. You can't get it anywhere. You can't get it even from land flipping. You can't even get it from buying a developed land. The kind of money you make from land banking, you can't get it from buying a developed land. If I buy Banana Island now, the highest Banana Island will become, even in the next 10, 20 years, if I buy Banana Island land for $2 million, maybe in 10 years I will be able to sell it for $5 million. Okay, but it's only land banking. You can buy a land. You can buy a land for 10 million. Okay, and then in 10 years, your 10 million naira land is now worth 1 billion. It happened to Pastor Paul Adefarasi when he bought warehouse on the Rockies. Now he bought it for 25 million. By the time they were moving there, 10 years after, it was worth 3 billion naira. 3 billion, from 25 million to 3 billion. That can only happen in land banking. Right? That can only happen in land banking. How can people living in diaspora invest in land banking? Well, look for credible companies like GTEX Homes and buy in their properties. GTEX Homes is the #1 company that started 100% virtual property purchase. So what we do is, you are not in Nigeria, we're able to show you the video of the land. We do Zoom allocation. In other words, via Zoom, you will see us allocating your land to you. We send all your land documents to you via courier to anywhere you are in the world, okay, including your survey. And with your survey, you can trace your land. Even if it's 50 years, you come back. Also, we have security covering everywhere we have estate. We fence our estate round. All our estate are fenced, and we always have security there. So even if it's 50 years later, you come back, you meet your land there. You are dealing with a company, okay, that is not going anywhere, that has an office, that is traceable. About today says, I'm starting small now, and I will grow big. I love that. Chris says, how many plots minimum is good to start land banking? Okay, even if it's 300 square meters, start somewhere. I've told you, the crime is not starting. Okay, just get started. at your level with whatever you can afford. Just get started. Okay, that's the rule. Bosse Hamzat says, can you manage land for people? If you bought the land from us, yes, we manage it for you. That's what we do. Calvin Brown says, how do you know legitimate real estate companies? I've done a training on that. Go to my YouTube page at Stephen Actel TV on YouTube. I've done a video on that. I've done a video on how to know a legitimate real estate company. I've done a video on YouTube. You can find that. Tony says, how does, even yesterday, I think it was yesterday I did a video that covers that. Check my video on this page that I did yesterday. 7 ways to buy land virtually if you're in diaspora. One of the ways to know a legitimate company is that the owners will be known. You know, there are some companies that you won't know the owner. It's because there's something fishy. Maybe they are not ready to do what they promise, so they find a way to hide themselves. So if you can't know the owner of a company, that's already a red flag. Companies that the owners are known, are visible, and they are reputable people in the society, I mean, you should go for such. Because at least you know their name is bigger than the amount you are investing with them. And they want to protect that name. They are traceable people. So that's one of the ways to know legitimate real estate companies. Tony says, how does one become a promoter and marketer of your company? Well, you want to go to the URL, portal.gtexhomes.com. You can go there and register. It's an automated process. After you register, it will direct you to our community. It's a WhatsApp community. You'll be learning a whole lot on that group. Let me see. I just sent you a message. It's very important. Well, for those of you who want to send me a message, it better be a message that you are that you want to buy a house or land from us, right? So, because again, I'm a very busy person. And I value my time a lot. I'd rather give you money than just give you my time, because it's my time that creates money. Money doesn't create time. So if you are going to reach out to me, make sure you are serious about investing in land banking. I'll give you some of the opportunities we have. Yes, Benga Sabe says, I think your GTEX home is a real brand. So how much do you take for one-on-one coaching? Benga Sabe, I'm not interested, so that you put me on your blog. You know how to reach me, Asabe. You know me and you. I've been looking for Asabe. So, to give for, you should reach out to me now. You're my guy any day, anytime. You know, you're my guy. So reach out to me. But I'll really be willing to work with you if you are really serious, Asabe. If you are serious, I'm willing to work with you, right? You're my guy, so let's work something out. Okay? Christopher says, I respect your company, and I must do business with you and some reputable ones. No problem. Thank you for saying that and saying good things about our company. Adekunle says, thank you, Mr. Stephen, the Eagle. The Africa's most sought after investment coach, CEO GTEX Homes, convener of a great conference. Thank you for giving value always. One day my saving will afford your mentorship. Thanks in a million. You are welcome. You're welcome. For those of you who came late, you can go watch it all over again. I taught on 5 land banking lessons I have learned from Chief Razak Okoya from just observing the man. I'll probably one day give you 5 land banking lessons I've learned from Dangote. Right? How many of you will like that topic? If you like that topic, type, I like that topic. Uki says, Mr. Stephen, why are you not answering my question? Uki, if I see your question, I will answer it. You can see there are many questions scrolling there. I don't know why some of us take things personal. I don't know you. So why will I avoid your questions? I didn't see it. So all you should have done is to just keep reposting it. Or probably you post it doesn't show. There are certain words you use that if you type anything, it won't show. I have banned certain words on my page. So it may be the words you use, because sometimes I won't even see it and you thought I'm seeing it. I didn't see it. Benga Dana Sabi says, God bless you. We will find time to reach out to you. Your schedule is very tight, but God will help us. Amen. No problem. I look forward to that, my brother. I look forward to that. Everybody likes this topic. Good to know. Good to know. Is there a way to pay in installment, like yearly plan? Yes, we have 6 months plan. And in few cases, in some of our estate, we have 1 year plan. You make a deposit, you spread the rest in 6 months or in 1 year. Yep, we do that. Also, don't forget, go subscribe to my YouTube channel at Stephen Akitao TV. At Stephen Akitao TV. 2 platforms you should go and subscribe to that I will recommend for you: at Stephen Akitao TV on YouTube, okay, and at Stephen Akintayo on Instagram. These are platforms that will change your life. Particularly YouTube, I've done over 1,000 videos that will change your life forever. Those of you just joining, like Dennis Lawson, what is land banking? Google it. Go watch the video all over again. You'll get all the information. Love you. Bye-bye. Good night.